Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder Museum tour. Today we're headed to the Pony Express National Museum in St. Joseph, Missouri. The Pony Express Museum commemorates the historic Pony Express, which was a fast mail service that operated between St. Joseph, Missouri and Sacramento, California from April 1860 to October of 1861. It played a significant role in connecting the eastern United States with the West, especially during a time when communication across such vast different distances was challenging. The museum showcases artifacts, exhibits, and information about the riders, horses, and the operation of the Pony Express itself. Our first exhibit features three displays: the blacksmith shop showcasing the hide forge, and the wheelwright and wainwright shops. In the 1800s, blacksmith and farriers, these were people who shoe horses, typically worked together in the same shop. Blacksmiths made items from iron or repaired them using borax power to weld the pieces of metal together. Farriers shod the horses. A blacksmith may have done both in frontier towns.
7:15 p.m., April 3rd, 1860. Pikes Peak Stables, St. Joseph, Missouri.
Johnny
Johnny
Fry, the
Fry, a
first
toast.
Pony
Eager
Express
to watch
rider,
the beginning of
departed
the
these
first run of
stables
the
at
Pony Express.
7:15 p.m. on
Stay
April
close,
3rd,
Green. The
1860,
cannon is about to
cheered on
sound
by a
clear down the
huge
Missouri
crowd to
River.
see the
The
first
riders are
Pony
dismayed.
Express take
Town
away.
Missouri. There's a
Originally set to
storm
leave
beginning
around
Maine
5
coast 2
o'clock
blocks
p.m.,
away.
the train bringing the
However,
mail on
here
the
in St.
Hannibal and
Joseph,
St.
Missouri,
Joseph
waiting on
Railroad
them was
was
weather.
late 2 hours.
While waiting,
The mail was
Johnny Fry
placed
had
in the
turned his
mohila and
stables the
thrown
other
on
way from
top
the
of the
noisy,
horse's saddle.
enthusiastic crowd.
A
Beginning of the
cannon was
Pony
fired
Carriage
to alert the
procession down the
ferry,
Main
the
coast to
Ebenezer,
Naples,
as
Missouri.
Johnny Fry
Gang,
left the
gang,
stables
gang!
on that first
Gang,
ride
gang,
headed
gang! It's
towards the river
time!
landing.
To the
The
river!
Ebenezer was named for its captain and owner, Ebenezer
Horse,
Blackenstone.
saddle. Quick
Johnny
saddle.
Fry crossed the Missouri River on the Ebenezer, disembarked on the west bank of the river, and sped off into Kansas Territory on his way west with the first letters. The stables were originally designed to have two rows of stalls facing each other with aisles behind them wide enough for a wagon or carriage hauling food to the horses. Pony Express founders Russell's, Major, and Waddell purchased up to 500 horses for around $200 each, placing them along the trail. They branded some of the horses with the letters XP for Express. The horse displayed in the first stall we see was created by an artist using hundreds of pieces of woods, while the horse in the second stall is a mannequin from the White Saddle Company here in St. Joseph and was used to display saddles and bridles around the 1880s. St. Joseph was a major jumping off point throughout the westward expansion of the 1800s. More people left from St. Joseph than any other city on the Missouri River during the gold rush years. The promise of new farmland, the gold rush, the pursuit of religious freedom, and other opportunities had people loading up and headed west. St. Joseph's population of 8,932 people in 1860 was second only to St. Louis in size. William Russell, Alexander Majors, and William Waddell, owners of the trading firm Russell's, Major, and Waddell, set out to earn a government mail contract worth about $1 million to meet the communication demands of the people headed west. They had to prove the Central Overland Route was the fastest and most reliable way to get mail to California. St. Joseph, Missouri was the eastern terminus of both the telegraph and the railroad. Atchison and Leavenworth were also considered for the eastern terminus of the Pony Express, but neither town had a railroad where mail could at least end up before moving on the Pony Express. Russell's, Majors, and Waddell established the Central Overland California and Pikes Peak Express Company as the parent company of the Pony Express. It was this company that contracted with the citizens of St. Joseph for office and livery space. Covered wagons headed westward weighed an average of about 2,000 pounds and were typically pulled by 4 oxen. Pioneers brought food, clothing, tools, and many other things to start their new lives out west. Families generally set out west in the springtime when there was plenty of grass for the oxen to eat along the way and to avoid carrying food for all the other animals. Children walked alongside the wagon collecting dried busson manure known as buffalo chips to use in the evening campfire. The Oregon and California trails took 4 to 6 months to travel, with families covering an average of 15 miles per day. We're now going to take a representation of the Pony Express ride from St. Joe out to California by looking at this beautiful 60-foot diorama. First off, getting off on the Missouri River, a steam ferry in what is now Elwood, Kansas, the rider would streak across the prairie to the first relay station. One of the first stops along the trail would be the Cottonwood State Relay Station, which is about 80 miles from here from St. Joseph. Riders braved buffalo stampedes, thunderstorms, and prairie fires that were often set off by lightning. Here at what is known as South Pass, wagon trains could be observed setting up camp and resting for the night. Pushing on through the Salt Lake Desert could be a challenge, but not as bad as coming up on the Native American tribes in the region. Even though the history of the Pony Express is not very long, only one Pony Express rider was ever killed by a Native American Indian. The mountains in the west could slow up a rider, especially during the cold, snowy winter months. Oxen blazed the trail. The rider would have to dismount his horse and walk down the side of the mountain to let the oxen wagons pass. Relay stations were built every 10 to 15 miles apart. As a rule, riders had 2 minutes to get a drink, go to the bathroom, and change their mochila over to a fresh horse. Two men usually manned the relay station, a station keeper and a stock tender who were paid about $40 a month. The riders changed at the home stations, which were about 75 to 100 miles apart, and were usually larger structures that were located on a ranch hotel or a town livery station. This well was originally used to water the horses. The well was capped in 1881. It wasn't used again until the early 1990s when an archaeological dig uncovered the well. The well is about 20 feet deep and can rise along with the Missouri River. In 1995, layers of brick were built on top to make the wooden platform. The rest of the well that we see is original. The cased items on the wall were found in the well during excavation, including an 1881 penny that was used to cap the well. The well had been used like a trash can, and discarded items from the freighting company had been tossed in. The mochila has four pockets or cantinas, three of which were locked. The only two keys for the locks were at the opposite ends of each trail, one in St. Joe and one in Sacramento, California. The fourth cantina was left open to pick up military dispatches along the way. The mail, written on very, very thin onion skin paper, was wrapped in oilcloth to protect it from the weather. Although Buffalo Bill Cody and Alexander Major said that Cody rode for the Pony Express, some have disputed it. Nevertheless, Cody, through his Wild West show, played a major role in publicizing the Pony Express worldwide. Buffalo Bill did not become famous because of the Pony Express, but the Pony Express became famous because of Buffalo Bill. The Pony Express riders became popular figures in the public's imagination and continued to play a positive role in American legend. Between 1883 and 1914, Buffalo Bill Show toured St. Joseph 9 times. This exhibit shows some of the acts and the seemingly impossible task of putting on a show of this magnitude day after day on the tour. This map represents the route and the divisions within the RAP and also shows each of the many relay stations. As we follow along the map, we also see various artifacts that have been discovered over time related to the Pony Express. The Pony Express itself ended with the completion of the telegraph, but it would still be a number of years before the railroad would allow mail to travel fast enough to the west.
And you have to draw things you don't like or want to draw, because that's.
And that's probably hard, that's probably kind of like, you guys do about poems, you can't just try to write a poem, I mean, you have to be in the mood, or you have to.
That's a little different.
Well, but if, you know, when I say, well, you need to write a poem for somebody that, you know, so if someone's telling her, you need to draw something, and if.
Especially if you're not good at what they're asking you to
Yeah,
draw,
if
you
they're
have to
asking you-
awkwardly be like, so I can't really do that.
That's not something I do.
But that is short though, because, you know, you're so artistic and talented in drawing, so if someone asks you to draw something and you think you can't, really, then you're not,
biggest-
really, you
Oh,
probably
I
can, yeah.
do something that you shouldn't do, I just tell them to say them after I've done one. So if I do something for somebody, I feel like it looks terrible, and it's like, ready to pay for it anyway, so it's not a big deal. You shouldn't do that, cause then they can scam you of your work, but nobody's ever done that, so people are really.
This is the first dig site that occurred here at the museum site and where the stables were found. Some artifacts were found in either of the squares that we see here and placed in the condition in which they were originally found. The 1858 wall is from the Pikes Peak stable, and the 1888 wall is a retaining wall of the St. Joseph Freighting Company. We're now entering the Hall of Writers. This is a newer exhibit where we learn more about life on the Pony Express Trail. Also, we see stories and historic photographs of 22 of the most famous as well as lesser known Pony Express riders. Although the Pony Express lasted just a short time, many current day stamps as well as other memorabilia have endured throughout the time. Here we see some of the different stamps, coins, commemorative coins, as well as a kids area that allows them to look at what times were like back in the days of the Pony Express. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the Pony Express National Museum in St. Joseph, Missouri. If you've enjoyed this tour, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you've been here before, leave a comment on what your experiences of the Pony Express Museum have been like. Take care now. Bye bye.